Hey, good morning. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I'm doing something a little different today. I thought it would be really fun. Today is day 13 of our 30-day chronic pain challenge, and I think I shared that I am doing this as much for me as I am for you. I have chronic pain just like the rest of us, or 100 million of us anyway in the United States, 1.5 billion in the world. 1.5 billion people. That's like one in 7 people suffer from chronic pain or are impacted by chronic pain. That's an incredibly large number. And so I know I don't want to be one of them, and I want to help as many people that have chronic pain as possible to not be one of them anymore. Anyway, I woke up today and I was feeling kind of bleh, and my left eye will not stop watering. It's wonky, so I did some of my drops and my treatment for it, but it's still driving me nuts. So if I blot it, I apologize in advance for that. But I wasn't feeling particularly awesome today, so I decided I was going to put on this fabulous outfit and make my video. And I'm sure it won't last all day, so I thought, why not share my process with you, how I actually go about creating my daily challenge. And these are things I actually do in my life that I think maybe would help you learn and understand why I do them and where I'm coming from. So today we're going to create our challenge together. And the first thing I always do is, for this particular challenge, since I've been studying and working on ways to alleviate stress and chronic pain and doubt, worry, and fear and things like that in my life for, at least a decade now, especially since 2010 and my sudden cardiac arrest, I have a whole lot of resources and books and tools that I just have used over the years. So the first thing I do is I think about, well, what's a tool I think that would help me today? So today I grabbed the Louise Hay book because, I love Louise Hay. And, I have my favorites, as we all do, because she speaks to me, and her wisdom have helped me over the years to feel better about a lot of areas of my life. So I grabbed her book, and the exercise that I decided I would share today and go through today is one that we'll talk about with respect to chronic pain. She does it with respect to sickness. She talks a lot about sickness and disease, which, frankly, if we're having chronic pain, it's almost always caused by some sort of sickness or disease. Just because our doctors and care providers can't give us a specific diagnosis or reason for it because they're treating our symptom, which is chronic pain, doesn't mean that there isn't some underlying dis-ease or illness that is manifesting in our lives and creating that pain. So I quickly picked the magnifying glass, of course. Exercise your beliefs about, and she uses sickness, I use feeling more pain, because chronic pain is just severe pain over a long period of time, and so I just feeling more pain, and I did the exercises and the questions, and I did quickly cheat right ahead and do them because, of course, I wanted to have something to talk about. So I shared my process with you, but I just picked this out this morning, and that's part of my process is what activity or what exercise or what challenge can I do today that's going to make myself feel better about pain and about the amount of pain that I will or will not accept for my life. So today's exercise is considering more and thinking more about my beliefs about pain and feeling more pain. So there are just 5 questions, and I found them very enlightening, as I always do whenever I do one of these exercises in my life and the amount of pain that I feel, and so I want to share them with you. The first question is, the way I make myself feel more pain is ... And you might be saying, oh, I don't make myself feel more pain. I just have this pain. It just exists in me because of XYZ. And I used to think that. I used to feel that way too. I used to just not understand at all why this was happening to me, and I felt sorry for myself. And as long as I was feeling sorry for myself and wondering why I wasn't getting better, I was actually getting worse. And over the years then of studying and trying to figure things out, I learned that I was contributing to the amount of pain I felt because of what I was thinking, because of what I was believing, and because of that, my thoughts and my beliefs were definitely impacting my feeling and my experiencing more pain. So some of the things I wrote down in response to that was, the way I make myself feel more pain is when I overdo it, when I do things that I know make me hurt more or feel worse. If I exercise too much, if I work too much, if I work too long, if I sit too long, if I stand too long, if I do anything that I know makes me feel worse, then I am contributing to my pain. I'm making myself feel worse because I'm actually choosing to work too long, to stress out, to stand too much, to overdo it. A big one I've discovered just this year for me is if I eat the wrong things, I totally trigger and increase my pain. For example, I found out this spring when I had a flare that about 90% of the foods I was consuming are wrong for my particular blood type. I had never heard about blood type and eating for your blood type before, and I didn't think it would make a difference. But I was desperate, so I'm like, well, I'm going to try this. So a friend of mine taught me about it. She's a naturopathic healer. I've known her for at least a decade too. Awesome woman who I will share with you later if you're interested. But she talked to me and asked me a bunch of questions and went through her process with me and helped me understand a lot of the supplements and nutrition and the activities and the things I was doing. My body was actually saying, no, we don't want this. And over the years since my cardiac arrest, I think I've mentioned, I've been treating myself as a science experiment and trying different things and changing things and doing just all kinds of different modalities and strategies to make myself feel better and to get healthier and feel less pain. Well, it turns out that most of the foods I was eating once I found out what my blood type was were actually avoids for me, foods that I avoid. I mean, after my sudden cardiac arrest, I always heard that spicy foods and peppers and cayenne pepper and things like that are really, really good for people with heart issues. So I was eating cayenne pepper in all my smoothies and in everything pretty much every day. I was drinking apple cider vinegar water every morning, and that's like super bad for me. So once I stopped doing all those things and just started eating the things that were highly beneficial for me, it made a massive difference. I could get out of bed. I could get to the bathroom. I could walk again. And I never would have believed before I actually tried it that that would have made any difference, much less made a dramatic difference in my ability to function and move. So now I'm a lot more conscientious about what I eat. And I know if I eat a bunch of sweets, if I eat a bunch of processed food, if I eat a bunch of not fat so much, but sugars just trigger me. And then there's certain foods that I love. I'm not supposed to eat meat. I'm like a total carnivore. And pretty much my blood type is supposed to eat no meat. And that is probably the hardest thing that I had to adjust to. Was I was thinking that I needed all this protein. And to me, the easiest way to get protein was from meat and eggs. And I wasn't supposed to eat any of them because they were all on my avoid list. So it just goes to show you that you never know. Something that you don't think would have any impact in you might make the biggest difference imaginable. So I guess you just have to be open to trying it and being open to seeing what will work for you, because we're all different. We don't know what's going to work for us until we give it a chance and we try. And another thing is you gotta be open to and believe that it can work for you. I was obviously open to the fact that this could work for me. And it did. It made an unbelievable difference. Other ways that I make myself feel more pain is negative emotions, negative feelings, stress, worry, doubt, fear. All of those things I've learned trigger my pain. They might not trigger your pain. They might not have any impact on you. But I would challenge you to test that. Test whether positive emotions and things that make you feel good and lighter make your pain go down versus doubt, worry, fear, not feeling good enough, anger, negativity. test and see if those emotions don't make you feel more pain. I know that they do in me, and so I challenge you to test that within yourself. The next question is, I feel more pain when I try to avoid ... Yeah, here's a biggie for me. Dealing with things that I don't want to deal with or things that I want to avoid. It took me 6 years to get divorced, you guys. That's a long time. So obviously, I tend to avoid and procrastinate on things I just don't want to deal with. And I can make excuses and give reasons why it took me that long, but the fact is, I just didn't want to deal with the details of making it work. The same thing is holding true right now. I'm sitting in a living room just full of stuff because my daughter and son-in-law are home helping me to organize and get rid of and downsize, or just sift through and decide what makes sense to keep and what things I should let go of, you know, from like, I don't know, 25, and I'll be honest, not just 25 years of being married and having a family, but I'm sure I have stuff back from when I was a kid because I am a saver. Okay, hoarder. I'll admit it, I am a hoarder. Somehow, someday soon, I will be a recovering hoarder, but I cannot even say I'm not right now. I save just ridiculous things, and I don't even understand why I do it sometimes, but I do. Anyway, so when I'm trying to excuse me, avoid things or like that I'm not comfortable with or I don't want to do or I just don't want to face, I tend to experience more pain. Back in my business, if we were having a particularly tough time with a vendor or with a customer or with finances or cash flow or something, I would definitely feel more pain. And again, whenever I'm having any scarcity or lack or doubt, worry, fear, things like that, I will feel more pain. So if I want to avoid something, those thoughts and beliefs just seem to throw themselves out there in my head so that I then have an excuse because I have too much pain. I hurt too much. I can't get out of bed. I mean, this spring, I had just finished something I was really excited about and gotten a new certification in a technology, which I am trying to learn some online things, and I'm not super technologically skilled when it comes to things like online. I'm trying to move my businesses from offline brick and mortar businesses to online businesses so that I have more flexibility and I can actually accommodate my own pain issues when they exist and create my own schedule, work what I want, do what I want. And I've done that a lot over the last, since 2004 for sure, by having my own businesses and not being in corporate America anymore. But I want more of that. The older I get, the more freedom I want and the more flexibility. And so as part of that, I had just gotten out of this certification. I was super excited about it. And what happened? I had a huge flare, can't get out of bed, can't walk, can't make it to the bathroom, recurrence of my personal issues, which tend to be inflammation related, arthritis, kidneys, who knows what, eyes, obviously. And I still don't know exactly what triggered it and caused it, but I gotta believe it was stress. And I don't know why it was stress, because it should have been positive stress, but I didn't figure it out. I just went through my process, which is really quick now. It used to take me years to go through my process, but now I went through my process in a couple of weeks versus a couple of years. And that just comes from experience and knowing what works for me and what doesn't work for me. But that, I don't even know why I started talking about that. Probably because it did trigger a huge issue in me. And I think it was because I was avoiding dealing with my house. Let's be honest. That's probably why. Number 3, when I feel more pain, I always want to ... Well, I personally want to disappear. And I don't know why that is. I just want to disappear and hide away from the world. I want to curl up in a little ball and I don't want to say die, but I wrote curl up in a little ball and die because sometimes that's how it feels. I just want to curl up in my cozy bed, under my warm, soft, comfortable quilts with my feather pillows and just sink into that and, you know, just kind of take a vacation from the world. Yeah, just hide away from the world. But what I really want is somebody to notice and love me and take care of me and pay attention to me. And so even though I think I want to disappear, when I asked myself that a little further and thought about it a little more, I really want people to notice and help me and love me and nurture me. And that sort of leads into the next question. When I felt pain as a child, my mother always ... My mother took excellent care of me. She would nurture me and love me and pamper me and make sure I had everything and anything I needed and wanted to make me feel better. Sorry about the dog. That's what happens when you're doing it live. Sometimes the dog barks. And so whenever I was feeling pain as a child, or when I got hurt as a child or had an accident, my mom and my dad were there. And my dad was a workaholic back then, so if you got your dad's attention, that was a big deal. Or if you got my dad's attention, that was an awesome big deal. And we know he worked so hard because he loved us all and was taking care of us, but sometimes you just wanted his attention and love. And when I was a child, and even when I was in my 20s, and they were taking care of me when I was incapacitated, when all these illnesses first started appearing in my life and these issues really took hold, they were there. They were taking care of me. They were doing everything they could that they knew I needed and wanted to make me feel better and to help me out. And the fifth question is, my greatest fear when I'm feeling more pain is that I won't be able to handle it. I don't know what to do. I feel like it's never going to stop. And I just want it to go away. And I don't think it ever will go away. And now if you'll notice, all of those things that cause me to feel more pain are just thoughts and beliefs. And if I go ahead and entertain those thoughts and beliefs, I'm going to continue to feel more pain. But if I say, well, is that really true? Do I really want to just curl up in a ball and die? Well, the answer is no. It's absolutely no. Do I think I won't be able to handle it? Well, no, because I've been handling it and dealing with it really effectively for, how old am I? 30-some years. So that's a lie, too. I know I can handle it. I can handle anything that life dishes out to me. I have and I will, and I'll continue to do it up to and including dying. So if I can get over dying, I can do anything, right? And if I can do it, you can certainly do it. And then I don't know what to do. I don't know if we talked about this or not yet, but so often, and how often, do you catch yourself saying, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. But is that true? Do you really, really, really not know what to do? Or do you just not want to do what you know you should do? What would be in your best interest? What you know you can do, and you just don't want to do it. And there's a big difference between I don't wanna and I don't know. But I think almost all the time our go-to answer is I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And society lets us say, oh, I don't know. But the truth is, you always know. You always know what is right for you. You just might not want to do it. I always know whether I should or shouldn't eat something. I always know if I should go for a walk or not go for a walk. I always know when I'm on that walk if I should stop and breathe for a few seconds and pause before I go on. If I'm listening to my body, I always know. Our body is an incredible communicator and facilitator. I call it a consciousness facilitator because our body always knows and it always tells us, and that's what pain is, you guys. Pain is telling us something's freaking wrong. It's not there to make us miserable and make our life suck. Pain is here in our lives to show us something that we don't want to look at. It's to make us see or learn or figure something out. And it might be something from our childhood that we just haven't let go of yet. I let go of something the other day that I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is still having any impact on me. And it totally was. I thought I had let it go a long, long time ago. But the fact that it came up again means I didn't deal with it all the way. And because I didn't deal with it all the way, it was still inside of me manifesting in pain. Because in me, and I don't know, probably in you if you have chronic pain, when something's wrong, it manifests itself. It shows up in your body as pain. And if you've got chronic pain, that means there's a bunch wrong. And just because there's a bunch wrong doesn't mean that it will stay wrong forever. Just because there's a bunch wrong doesn't mean you can't fix it and you can't feel better. And again, that goes to our beliefs and our thoughts and our feelings. So that's our exercise for today, and our challenge for today is to answer those questions. I answered them, and I gotta tell you, I actually feel better today because I woke up kind of wonky and not feeling terrific, put on a fabulous outfit, did this exercise, started this video, and I already feel better. And because I feel better, I feel less pain. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that there's definitely something to that. So the next thing I do after I pick an exercise, and then normally I just do it for myself, but on this 30-day challenge, I am sharing it with you. After I pick the exercise, I go ahead and I pick our Power Thought card. Remember I told you I just randomly pick those? So I'm going to show you how I do that. I just kind of flip through them, and then I just pull one out. And whatever is the card that I pull out, that is our Power Thought card for the day. So let's see what we got today. Today we have, I am in the process of positive change. Okay, now that's awesome, right? I am in the process of positive change. I'm going to sneak my magnifying glass. I am unfolding in fulfilling ways. Only good can come to me. This is a terrible magnifying glass. You'll notice I have lots of magnifying glasses. I now express health, happiness, prosperity, and peace of mind. Okay, that's a good one. Sorry about my reading. I sound like I'm in like first grade. And then the next thing I do is I pick an affirmation for today. And when I decided I was going to do this challenge, I actually brainstormed in my notebook 30 affirmations. I just started writing it. Whatever popped in my head, I just started writing affirmations. So I just go down the list now and I pick whatever the next one is. And today is, I am in charge of me. Okay, that's a good one too. So, I am in charge of me. I don't have my ring binder. I didn't bring it in here with me. So I'll write these down on a note card, and I will, or in my binder, because I'm doing them in my little flip book, remember? I'm in charge of me. I am in charge of me right now. Why is it so easy to be in charge of me? I'm going to tell you a story. Yesterday, the ex-husband called me and was venting about something. And it was about something I had done. So, in the past, that would have tipped me over and I would have gotten mad and probably defended myself and argued back with him. But this time, and for the last couple of years, I just listen. Sometimes I've learned, finally, after being divorced for a couple of years, that he just needs to say what he has to say. And guess what? I don't have to agree with any of it. I just have to say, I understand, I hear you. And he's kind of stopped. He used to always make me agree with him, which is super duper frustrating and a control freak thing. But he doesn't anymore. Sometimes he does, but I just ignore it. Because I can. I could before too, but I didn't know I could because we were married and I thought I had to listen to him. How dumb is that, right? Isn't it crazy what our beliefs and some of the things we think we have to do that we totally don't. Anyway, so we're having a conversation. He's ranting at me about something that I should have done and I should be doing and da-da-da-da-da. And a lot of it has to do with this house because we're still trying to get rid of this house together. And I just listened to it and I just reminded myself, I'm in control. I don't have to react to this. It doesn't matter. I get to control me. I'm the boss of me. I get to say and do whatever I want. And guess what? We all do. We all get to say and do and be who we are. But remember, along with that freedom comes personal responsibility. We're responsible for being the best person that we can be. And that's our job. That's why we're here on the planet, is to experience our life uniquely as who we are. That doesn't mean we can be horrible to other people. Because if that's who you really are, guess what? That's going to come back on you too. It's called karma. But I'm in control of me. You're in control of you. We get to control what we do and do not feel, what we do and do not think, how we do and do not behave. It's entirely up to us. And it's not up to our family. It's not up to our spouse or significant other. It's not up to our children. It's not up to anyone but me. And you are the same way. It's totally up to you. So that is our affirmation for the day. And I wrote day 13 by it, so I will go type it up in our lesson after we are done with this today. Then the next thing after our affirmation, again, I get to pick some more cards because I think they're really fun. And our next one is from the If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules deck. I love these decks. I know you know that. I've got, like I said, I think I've got like 30 some of them. Some of them are packed away right now as I'm moving, but I happen to have these 3 decks in my bedroom by my bed because I hadn't gone through them yet. So I thought, well, this is awesome. This is perfect for this 30-day challenge. And normally I wouldn't do 7 things a day personally because it doesn't take me that many. But what I'm trying to do is create a variety of options and choices for you so you can pick and choose what works for you, what makes you feel better. Because, again, we're all different, and what makes me feel better, you might just think, Jesus, Sharon, you're absolutely nuts. I'm not even going to listen to that. But I hope you don't think that. Today is intention. Love intention. Intention. Determine clearly what you want. Have you done a wants list? Have you started a list or a book or a vision board or anything that specifically calls out what you want? You got to write it down. My dad taught me that. It's just like any goal or thing or desire. You got to write it down. And it's not goals. It's like everybody should have a total fantasy dream list of, if I can have anything I want in the world, it's on that list. Absolutely anything. So that is our If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules card. I'm going to sneak a drink of my medicinal tea my son-in-law made me. This one's actually delicious. It's lemon and mint. It's really, really good. The last one, I would take a drink, it would burn all the way down. I suspected he might have been trying to off me, but no, he loves me. All right, so again, I just will shuffle through the cards a little bit. It's kind of fun to make that noise sometimes. And then I just pick one. And hopefully it doesn't have a deer on it, because I think our last 2 have had a deer on it. Nope. Excuse me. Cool plant. Gratitude. All right. Cannot overestimate the power of gratitude in your life. And again, the power of thinking and focusing on what you want versus what you don't want. We get whatever we think about. We get whatever we believe. You don't have to agree with me on that or not, but I challenge you to test that in your life. I know absolutely 100% it works every time and exactly in my life. If I'm focusing on what I don't want and the negative and scarcity and lack, that will start to show up in my life. If I'm focusing on abundance, what I do want, those things show up in my life. And they kind of show up in miraculous ways. And the fastest way to make that happen is through gratitude. Because if you're appreciating and being thankful and grateful for the things that are already in your life, then you get more of that. If you're thinking and complaining about the things that aren't working in your life, like your wonky eye versus your good eye, you're going to get 2 wonky eyes or more of that in your life. So I am focusing on my good eye today, which it's kind of interesting because 2 days ago, Friday, that eye was wonky, which is 2 days ago, and now my left eye is wonky. So sometimes it just likes to move around to tell me something. There's obviously, now here's what I've learned. There's obviously something I'm not seeing or something I don't want to see. Because when there's something wrong with my eyes, that is actually my body telling me there's something I don't want to see. There's something I need to pay attention to and do something about that I'm not. So today I got to figure out what is it that I don't want to see. And I'll be honest, I already know what it is because I know what I've been avoiding. So I know I need to deal with that. And the fact that it's showing up in my eyes is because I haven't been looking at it and I haven't been dealing with it and I haven't been honest with myself about seeing it and doing it and making a change that I know I need to make. So I can whine about my wonky eyes, but I really know it's me who's making my eyes wonky. Let's read the back of this one. Gratitude. By embracing pain, fear, and challenges with gratitude, I discover the real value and meaning of my life. I am so grateful to be alive. Well, isn't that just appropriate? Awesome. Then, after our cards, we need to have a daily question. And I usually just ponder what's going on, and I look at the questions we've asked already, and I try to think of, well, what would be a good question for today? What would be a good positive daily question? And I try not to ask a question we've asked before because there's more than 30 questions in the world, so we can pretty easily come up with one. Yesterday, we asked, how can I take better care of myself? Did you do that? Did you answer the question? Did you come up with some way to take better care of yourself? I actually made myself go outside and walk in nature and walk in the park. When the weather gets cold, I tend to come indoors, and I'll either walk indoors somewhere, or I walk on my treadmill, or I'll ride my exercise bike, because I don't like being cold. I don't know, I've never liked being cold. It's especially since 2010. Part of my sudden cardiac arrest revival was being in a coma and having my blood filtered through, like, I don't know, some kind of ice cold system. I should look up and figure out what it's called and research it, but I don't want to know that much because I don't want it to ever happen again. But what they did, and part of why I don't have so much brain damage and why I did survive this, was because they did chill my blood down, and that, I guess, protects your brain and your organs and everything else. So, totally lost track of what I was thinking about on that. It had something to do with questions. What would be a great daily question? What's a question we can ask ourselves today that ties in with what we're talking about, the feeling more pain, what makes us feel more pain, gratitude, intention, or positive change. So that's kind of, and then our affirmation is, so I try to find something that I want to ask myself for the day that ties into all those things, or maybe none of them, or maybe just one of them. I am in charge of me. How about what makes me smile? I would say, or feel fabulous, because I wanted to feel fabulous today, so I put on a fabulous outfit. That helps me to feel fabulous. I do my face, put on pretty earrings, put on pretty jewelry, put on a pretty top and dress, because that makes me feel better. And so, what makes me smile? What makes me feel better? What works for me? That'll be one of our questions, I'm sure, down the road. What works for me? And then after a question, I just come up with something I'd like you to share, because I think it's really important that we learn from one another and that we share with each other. That's why I'm doing this. I know that a lot of people are really struggling and suffering out there. And if I can just share one thing in this even 30-day challenge that helps one person to feel better and to experience less pain, then this whole thing was worth it. And it helps me too, because it does help me to feel less pain and to get through my life and feel better every single day. And that's my goal and my objective, is to feel better every single day and to enjoy my life experience. I'm not here to just putz through my life. I'm here to have an awesome time. And I hope that you are too. So what would I like you to share today? Let's share just share one thing you're grateful for. So one thing, just share one thing you're grateful for. I am grateful for the fact that I have a closet full of clothes that I can pull something fabulous out and put it on. I am grateful that my right eye is feeling better today. I am grateful that my son made this awesome cold remedy tea for me. The mint and lemon is delicious, much better than the cayenne. Again, because cayenne, I discovered, is not good for me. As much as I thought it was, it's not good for me. So it makes me not feel terrific. So there was kind of a dichotomy between feeling better from the alleviation of the cold symptoms from the cayenne versus the increase in my inflammation from the cayenne. So, you know, sometimes you got to balance these things out. So this tea seems to be a lot better for me because both mint and lemon are highly beneficial for my body and my blood type and everything else. So that's it. That's how I create our lessons. And I guess before I leave, I want to ask a couple of questions. One, did you use and have you downloaded your worksheet? And would you like me to make a video of how I am using that worksheet? Because I said, you know, I mentioned I keep the chart on my bedroom wall, and now I'm using the worksheet because I created it for you, and so I wanted to try it out too. Would it be beneficial if I shared my worksheet and how I do that with you? Again, you can do it any way you want, but if that would be beneficial, just send me a message or leave a message in the comments below and I will go ahead and do that. I'll just create a short video showing how I actually use that and give you some ideas on how to use it. Because sometimes we need more specific instructions than just what I've shared. And the other thing is, I would love some comments and feedback on how you think this is working. Was it interesting to see behind the scenes and how I actually come up with the different components of this 30-day challenge? If so, let me know. I can show you again how I do it now. I randomly pick things. If not, I won't do it again. I'll just create the lessons and share the information and the lesson. Is it better when I create the video first and then the written lesson? Or do you think I should create the written lesson and then share that because it's more thought out? Just let me know. Looking for feedback. I want you to have an awesome day, and I want you to not let your chronic pain negatively impact your life. I want you to go out and feel amazing and be amazing and do amazing things, because that's what we're all here for. It's to experience our life the way we want to and have it be excellent, not a struggle or miserable. We're here to thrive. We're not here to struggle. We're not here to just survive. We're here to make the world a better place, feel terrific, and share who we are with everybody else. So that's it. I will see you tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Bye.